Kyle Korver did not get off as part of that second unit, and I think that's an underrated part of the series that a lot of folks aren't necessarily talking about the way that they should. But, you know, LeBron was tired.
Now,
Shoot, I was playing.
I get that, Kevin. But what I need to understand, and how the sexuals are always talking about how bad his team. This is the team that LeBron chose. His team was advocate at getting J.R. Smith that contract.
That's true.
His team negotiated the contract of Tristan Thompson.
That's true.
It was LeBron that said he needed more help. He was the one who wanted George Hill. They got him George Hill. He the one that okayed the D-Wade trade. They traded D-Wade. They got rid of everybody he wanted to get rid of. He wanted to be more young and athletic. That's what they bought in.
Ruined.
That's what he chose. He made the bed, so he got to lay in it.
And guess what? He took them clowns to the end and ran against KD. And that's all that it is. You're right. He got exactly what he wanted. Because you're right, Tristan Thompson and J.R. Smith were guys we wanted to reward.
Yeah.
No problem. No big deal. But then when you saw the route that they had, Isaiah Thomas, no good. Jay Crowder forgot how to play basketball. They brought in a bunch of guys. And this is the other part about all this, too. The Cleveland Cavaliers did not have to trade Kyrie Irving. Just because Kyrie Irving walked into the office and said, hey, I want to trade, well, sir, you're a
I give you that.
Yeah.
I give you that. There
But-
could have been more done.
If we don't want you to.
But what was the deciding de facto of why Kyrie wanted to be traded?
Well, Kyrie wanted to be an alpha male somewhere else.
He didn't want to play with LeBron.
Nah, it was
Yeah.
the last year's finals. Everybody kept saying he need more help. He need more help. Kyrie averaged like 25 points in the finals. And all everybody wanted to talk about was LeBron and his triple-double for 5 games that he averaged. And he just needed more help. Kyrie was like, man, I'm not taking the fall for you every time we lose. I'm out of here. If I'm going to get the blame, I'm going to be the man to get the blame.
To me, and it's a lot of people has came out and said it's not even an opinion, but it's a fact that Kyrie wanted out of Cleveland to get away from LeBron James.
And another thing, man, it is about coaching. Like you said, Tyronn Lue. Golden State got 2 J.R. Smiths with Nick Young and JaVale McGee. And look at them boys. They got rings now. So, and then if you look, like you said, Jay Crowder, he goes to Utah. He coming off the bench, balling for Utah. Isaiah Thomas played for the Lakers decently.
D-Rose played decent in Minnesota.
Yeah, so it's about the system. They had decent players. I think the team that they started with this season was better than what they ended up with. And it may have been better than if they would have let Isaiah get healthy.
Because this is what I thought, Kevin. I knew they were struggling during the regular season.
D-Rose on
Yeah, they had D-Rose. I knew they were struggling during the regular season. But they had a lot of veterans.
Yeah.
You know, D-Wade always going to coast during the regular season. But I was like, once playoff time start, this team was going to be dangerous.
You panic.
Because you had IT, you had a healthy Rose that you was going to rest all year long, and you saw how he looked at Minnesota. D-Wade was going to do what he always do in the playoffs. Crowder would have at least been a better defensive option than what they have currently.
Yeah.
And I thought that was the better team, and they just panicked and got rid of everybody. I hated the trade.
And 2 with Jordan Clarkson.
Well, I mean, the thing about Isaiah Thomas is he's effective when he has the ball in his hands. Isaiah Thomas is a ball-dominant point guard. So he has to have the ball in his hands to be effective. Jay Crowder, I thought, would have fit better than because he's a utility guy. He can shoot the 3-ball. He can be a 3-and-D guy and be able to provide some defensive help on the defensive end of the basketball. And it just didn't work out. I think the chemistry wasn't there. Dwayne Wade, and I think honestly, J.R. was much more effective than he wants to let on about D-Wade being brought in there.
Oh, he was.
He essentially took J.R. to the starting spot. So at that point, J.R. Smith is thrown out of whack. He's worked hard all summer long on his game. And as you know, Dwayne Wade is brought in there. And he just never fit in that second unit. So I think the parts that were there didn't lend itself to long-term success given the fact that Jay Thomas wasn't as effective when he was there and he's a ball-dominant guard that needs the ball in order to be successful. And the other pieces, once that kind of fell apart, it just didn't work. And I mean, I give Kobe Altman credit to GM of the Cavs for recognizing that there was an opportunity to try and do something because they had no cap space. Clarkson, Rodney Hood, and Larry Nance to a point where they can be contributors at points throughout these playoffs into an NBA Finals situation. And then when you go up against Golden State, I told folks, Kevin Durant has to be the best player on the floor for the Golden State Warriors to win an NBA Finals. And in Game 2 and 3, because a lot of people forget, in Game 4, he was 10 of 14, scored 26 points, had probably his most efficient night of these playoffs, and it carried over into Game number 3. Because I was fine with Kevin Durant getting the MVP, because honestly, I think he had a more dramatic effect on these games, especially he had a triple-double in Game 4 than Steph Curry. I mean, Steph Curry had the finals record 9 3-pointers, but he shot poorly really from the field throughout the entire series, and only had really the one spectacular game in Game number 2. Well, so I was actually fine with Durant getting the MVP, but, you know.
But if you look at Steph Curry's stats, Game 1 he had 29-9. Game 2 he had 33-8. He had that miserable Game 3, but then he followed up by another 37 points.
I think a lot of that. I think a lot of those, honestly, especially as the game went on, those points were really empty because they were up by 10, 15, 20 as the game went on. And I think Kevin Durant's he was more consistent of a performer from Game 2 on forward, because he had the game in Game 2, then he had, obviously the epic performance in Game 3, and then he had a triple-double in Game 4.
Yeah.
So I think he was much more consistent throughout these finals. I think that's why he was getting the nod. Steph Curry had I don't even say that, because Kevin Durant had the most spectacular game. He had the most spectacular game in these finals, I thought, with his Game 3 performance, even though Steph Curry hit those 9 threes in Game 2. But I thought Kevin Durant was a more consistent performer. I think that's why he got the nod over Curry.
I think personally he probably got the nod for his defensive effort, because he, unlike LeBron, took the challenge on taking LeBron on one-on-one.
Yeah.
But he was Kevin Durant was very effective on the defensive end. I think because of that, and he did wind up averaging 29, 11, and 8.
And you know what? I don't think either one of them care either. So
yeah, they don't care. That's the great part about Golden State.
Exactly. They don't even care. So.
Real quick, though, Kevin, before we let you go, where do you think LeBron is going? Because I think he's gone.
Man, I said that the best basketball fit for him is Houston, because he said that he wants to play off the ball as his career has gone on. And I think Houston allows him the best opportunity to do that. So if he leaves, I think he should go to Houston. I've said if he goes to LA, he doesn't need to bring Paul George with him. He needs to bring Boogie Cousins with him. As long as they drop Julius Randle's contract, I think he's making like $15, $16 million this upcoming season. If they let him go, I say that LeBron James takes Boogie Cousins and they go out to Los Angeles. But I thought something interesting, and I don't know how the numbers would work, but imagine LeBron James, Russell Westbrook, and Paul George all on OKC with Carmelo Anthony. He's going to push the button for that $28 million to stay in Oklahoma City, because he's not going to opt out to just leave all that money on the table. I would be interested to see what LeBron James would look like if Paul George stayed there in Oklahoma City. I think it's far-fetched, obviously, and I don't know if the numbers work, but I would think that would be a kind of an interesting lineup to see if they could work it out, because you got Steven Adams there, you got Anthony Roberson there, one of the better defenders in the NBA. I just wonder how that would work if those three decided to team up together, and Carmelo would be forced to be on the bench at that point.
Yeah.
Melo
has to go.
You're right.
Melo has to go.
But
Melo need to opt out and follow LeBron.
Yeah, I think for best basketball fit, LeBron should go to Houston, because you accomplish two things. You get a chance to beat the Warriors from winning championships, and two, you have an opportunity, if you get to Houston, you're going to dust whoever it is that comes out in the East, whether it be Kyrie and the Boston Celtics or Philadelphia 76ers. You're going to dust whoever comes out of the East with that three-headed monster in Chris Paul, James Harden, LeBron James, especially if Chris Paul can maintain his health throughout an 82-game season and into the playoffs. I think that would be the best. But Houston's got some questions to answer free agent-wise. We've got like Eric Gordon, Clay Capella, and others to make sure that they are able to get them back. But if Chris Paul won't take less money, because he's already said he wants the max, but if LeBron gives him a call and says, hey, I'm on my way to Houston, they can get half of the Banana Boat crew together and, make it happen out in Houston.
Yeah, we're going to see. But man, I appreciate you calling in. I'm telling you guys, this is one of the best sports minds that is not on television. I highly respect him. I appreciate any time that you have me on your show. That's my man Kevin Gray from Clutch Talk Radio Sports. And where else can they find your show at, my man?
Yeah, I appreciate it, man. You can find us every Monday and Friday, 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Eastern Time on the Sports Radio America Network. You can follow us on Twitter at TT Sports Radio and like our Facebook page at Clutch Talk Sports Radio. You can download and subscribe to our podcast anywhere you download your podcast, Apple Podcasts, Spreaker, wherever the case may be. And that's where we are. So I appreciate you allowing me a few minutes on Nothing to BS podcast. Good talking to you, Tyler. I appreciate it, man. And y'all take it easy on Big Bron.
You too, man.
Okay? Y'all take it easy on
Now, we're about to go off on this broken hand. All right, man.
All right, Kevin.
Good talking to y'all.
You too.
You too, Kevin.
All right.
Once again, that is Kevin from Clutch Talk Radio. As I mentioned before, one of the brightest minds I know in sports.
Yeah, like me personally, I would like to see him stay in Cleveland. I'm not mad if he goes.
Yeah.
He's a free agent, ain't no slave. He doesn't owe nobody nothing. But he's from the area, and I mean, when you think of Cleveland, you think of LeBron.
Yeah, without a doubt.
Well, I don't know if they got no money though, do they?
Cleveland?
Yeah, I don't think they got no cap. So yeah.
They re-signed LeBron. I don't know how much cap space they have
he
left.
could opt out and restructure, but I don't, know if he would want to do that at this time,
Yeah.
But I mean, I would like to see him stay just for maybe nostalgia purposes, I guess.
Yeah, that would be nice.
With this Golden State team, again, I don't think they're that unbeatable. But if he feels like he got to go to Houston and super team up, that's fine with me. I would definitely love to see the matchup.
Now, what I wanted to get into was after the game.
Okay.
And I don't know why my Bluetooth wasn't working at it. It just makes me sick. Hope you guys was able to hear Kevin clearly. I think he came through the speaker.
Yeah.
After the game, we get to the podium, and LeBron is sitting up there with his handicap cast on.
It was like 10 minutes after the game, I get an alert on my phone. LeBron suffered serious hand injury after game 1 to his shooting hand, but forced to keep playing and roughed it out for his team, was able to average 37, 8, and 8.
His shooting hand.
That's what I'm saying.
34 points, 10 rebounds, 9 assists with a broken shooting hand.
It just adds to his legend.
Come on, man. I mean, really?
It happened immediately now. As soon as the game was over, I get an alert from Bleacher Report, ESPN, all of them put it out there.
And from what I read was...
He punched the whiteboard.
Yeah, he punched the right...
No, it was a blackboard, because those are harder. He punched the blackboard with the one you do chalk on. It was like made in the 60s, so it was made out of real granite, and he punched it, and he broke his hand, but he kept playing.
And it was like,
said.
The report, since the report got leaked, that is why he put on the cast. It was like he broke it game 1.
Okay.
He didn't want to tell anybody because he didn't want the Warriors exploiting it.
Okay.
But since it was leaked that he broke his hand before the press game conference, he quickly got a freaking cast.
Okay.
What? They just keep them in the locker room?
Yeah.
Like underneath the chairs and stuff?
Yeah, just tape it up,
You just quickly, what's the point? If you ain't had it on doing play, what the hell you need a cast on doing a post-game podium?
To make it heal up. Nowadays overplaying,
You gonna break your hand holding the mic?
We don't know. He might.
You gonna knock the water bottle over and break your hand again? See, you didn't need the cast on the court, but at the podium.
Yeah.
You know what? We ain't never gonna figure this. We gonna have to talk to LeBron.
Okay.
I think it's time for an interview.
Let's do it.
We ain't got the crowd noise, but we about to get into it.
I just call him. Just gonna call him direct. We got his number.
Yeah, we got him on the line.